The scene opens with the legendary basketball player Uncle Drew, so famous that even Jerry West, the NBA logo himself, admits that Drew should be the face of the league. Drew and his friends were ready to dominate the Rucker Classic in 1968, but then, like in a soap opera, rumors started swirling that Drew had gotten a little too close to a teammate's girlfriend. Naturally, this distraction led to a complete disaster in the finals, and in the blink of an eye, Uncle Drew disappeared from the basketball scene faster than a missed layup. Fast forward to the present, Dax Winslow, a coach traumatized by his childhood enemy Mookie, is desperate to keep his star player, Casper, away from the rival team. But when Casper jumps ship, even after Dax bought him some expensive Jordans, leaving him broke, Dax is left humiliated and homeless. What to do in a situation like that? Naturally, Dax wanders the basketball courts of New York, looking for a miracle, until he finds an old man criticizing the way young people play. Surprise! It's not just a grumpy old man, it's Uncle Drew himself, still schooling the youngsters like it's no big deal. Drew agrees to join Dax's team, but only if he can bring his old teammates along. Thus begins the classic recruitment road trip, with stops in unexpected places, like a church where preacher, one of the former players, is now a pastor, baptizing babies as if they were basketballs. Of course, things aren't easy. Preacher's wife, Betty Lou, isn't happy with the whole deal and chases the group like a madwoman. Honestly, if I were Dax, I'd never have gotten into Uncle Drew's van, especially after that argument about jazz and hip-hop. But maybe I'd stay just for the chaos of the trip. An interesting point here, Uncle Drew brings nostalgia for the old-school players, including Shaquille O'Neal, who plays Big Fella. The tension between Uncle Drew and Big Fella, due to an old grudge, shows how deep the bonds between these teammates are, and it's curious how they believe a simple basketball game can resolve everything. Would I try to settle things with Big Fella through basketball? Probably not. I'd suggest group therapy. But Uncle Drew, for sure, is more old-fashioned than that. Dax and his crew go to a retirement home to pick up Boots, who, surprise, not only has catatonic schizophrenia but also hasn't walked in years. What leaves Dax speechless is seeing Uncle Drew determined to bring the old guy to the game as if it were no big deal. And, of course, to ensure everything goes smoothly, Boots is accompanied by his granddaughter, Maya, a full-time caregiver who's like a mirage in the desert for Dax. The last one to be recruited is Big Fella, the guy with more grudges stored up than a telenovela and who, right off the bat, punches Drew square in the nose. But for the team's sake, he decides to join, so, that's progress. With the team complete, they hit the road. Betty Lou, Preacher's wife, furiously chases them in her car, but they manage to shake her off in a B-movie-style escape. Dax, broke and desperate for gas money, bets $100 with a girls' team in basketball, believing the old men will crush them. Spoiler, they lose miserably. But what would a sports movie be without that emotional comeback? Drew and the team pool their savings to save Dax from financial humiliation. In Harlem, the group visits the court where they trained back in their glory days. Drew has gifts for everyone, a pair of glasses for light so he can see properly, a pair of Converse for boots that miraculously get him to stand, and a cross for Preacher. Big Fella's gift? An old trophy, which he promptly smashes with his foot, still holding a grudge against Drew for stealing his beloved Jennifer years ago. During a visit to her grave, Drew finally apologizes, and Big Fella forgives him. Peace is made, and the team starts winning. At a party, they even win a dance-off, proving they still got the moves. The team advances to the semifinals, but that's when Big Fella suffers a heart attack. At the hospital, they find out he's out of the game, and who shows up to replace him? None other than Betty Lou. With that, they reach the final against Mookie's team, Dax's rival. In a true revenge showdown, Drew's team starts slow but soon gets into the rhythm and gives the opponents a beating. Until Light gets injured, and Dax is thrown into the fire, literally. At first, the trauma of his last game against Mookie paralyzes him, but with a little push from his friends, he makes the game-winning shot and secures the victory. And, of course, Dax kisses Maya, guaranteeing that classic romantic victory cliché. One fun fact about this movie is that besides seeing famous ex-basketball players portraying old men, the actors' makeup took hours to get right. And look, I wouldn't have gotten involved in that girls' team challenge at the beginning. Dax was way too optimistic, and we all saw how that went. I would have fled from Betty Lou right from the start, because, let's be honest, who wants to be caught in a chase like that? Also, I found it interesting how the team's chemistry, which started out full of grudges and punches, turned into true friendship by the end. But now, if you had the chance to build a team with your idols, even if they're a little past their prime, would you do it? Leave your answer in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and check out these 2 videos. I guarantee you'll enjoy them as much as this one. Stay well, and I'll see you next time.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect.